That's it, man. Finally, as we all expected, the moment we found out at the end of last season that we were set to play in this tournament, the inevitable has finally happened, and we find ourselves in this year's Conference League final. Now, obviously, there's a lot to play for. I think for our history, knowing the fact that we've won every single European trophy on offer, I mean, that is an opportunity that you can't turn down because I think we can all agree. I never want to be back in the Conference League ever again. Yeah, I don't want to ever see that happen. But today, man, it was obvious that this would be a game for the youngsters to make their name, to stand out, to be given opportunities. And we ended this game with so many COBHAM grads and teenagers on that field, regardless of the context of this game, regardless of anything. It's a massive achievement for the football club to see so much youth representation from the club. And there's a constant reminder that this ownership has to stop looking past the talent and consistent quality this club is known to produce here. It can't forever be casting your eyes on just youngsters abroad. Also promote the best of what you have and give them those fair opportunities, right? Because they will be there for us and they will make things happen for us in the future. It really is that simple. Senior Reggie Walsh is, the youngest ever debutant in our European history. Start and finish the game as a 16-year-old is absolutely nuts. I love that Maresca started Reggie Walsh. I hoped he would do that, but I was thinking, what these managers can be like. They overcoach, they overthink, and it's, they always prioritize like the senior players in the team. But he let him play from the start, and I thought Reggie Walsh, just to continue to focus on him. He looks like a player that completely understands how he had to be within the structure, how to play. He showed a bit of maturity in the sense of how he releases the ball, how he slows the play down sometimes, how he combines. It was a very effective, professional performance of Reggie Walsh. He attempted like a distance shot near the end of the game where I guess it was like a safe opportunity because the game was a bit end-to-end a little bit. He probably could have shown even more individually, but he's here to impress the manager. He's here to win Maresca's trust because he'll be sticking with us. And next season, there could be some decent opportunities for Reggie Walsh to continue to build off what he's built off right now. Hopefully, before the season ends, he might find himself with a sub appearance near the end if we can somehow secure, Champions League spots before the season ends. And you'd like to think now, with Man United thrashing Bilbao tonight, that they're going to focus entirely on winning the Europa League, which means that when we play them in next weekend, their focus won't be on playing the best game against us. That works in our favor, right? But really cynically and quickly, I think it's kind of mad that the Conference League final has like better quality teams than the Europa League final. I mean, Spurs versus Man United, the ultimate mid-off, that is just going to be hilarious to see. But, jokes aside, to prioritize us, yeah, the youngsters, they were the real talking points on this game tonight. If there's one youngster I want to focus on moving past Reggie Walsh, I want to say that's Josh Acheampong. For myself, if not for little things working against him, like maybe the little like kerfuffle with his contract extension, how he was kind of like, semi-banned from first team duties, little things like that. If he had got maybe a few more appearances that Tyreek got this season, I think I would have had Acheampong as my young player of the season, because every time I see this kid play, out of every kid I've seen this season, he plays with purpose. He plays to affect the game. He adds something. And what does he add to our team, add to our game? This superb ball carrying abilities. It's that good that he seamlessly slots into playing in midfield, which he did near the end. He played like 3 different positions in this game today. He started as a left back. He moved to the right hand side. Then he ended the game in the pivot in midfield alongside Malo Gusto. To have a player who is that composed, that good, playing many different tactical roles, but also playing in different positions on the field, this is a rare thing to have. And he seems to be like a bit of a cheat code in the making. He's like, 6'4", 6'5"? Yeah, blessed with height, blessed with pace, blessed with like the tactical intelligence and the skill and the technique. You look at a player like this and it's like, Chelsea Football Club, we have to be very careful about what the plan is going to be for the right-hand side, because you can't have Acheampong, Fofana, Gusto, Reece James battling it out for like 1 or 2 spots throughout the season next year. Like that can't be the case. Acheampong looks like he could go all the way realistically. And as I'm saying in this game today, just the injections of pace with this quality on the ball, carrying us up the field, winning balls in Djugarden's half, even showing great defensive work, quick footsteps to follow runners. I'm really, really impressed by him. As I'm saying, he's personally my young player of the season, and he looks like the most well-tuned and the most refined player, in my opinion, who could be getting access to more minutes, like a lot more 30 minutes. I think he deserves that. So hopefully those opportunities come, because I think this kid is too promising, in my opinion. But obviously, man, we have to talk about Tyreek George. Tyreek today, since winning the awards, it was nice to see him show off a little bit of his like skill and his technique. Nice little Neymar. How do you even describe that skill when he just brought the ball down with like his leg crossed over? Nice bit of play there. I still feel like this season we haven't seen the full force of Tyreek's superb shooting technique with both feet. That will come when he has maybe more access to minutes, more consistency in his game, and that will translate, because that's what happens at a youth level. You have to like slowly ease them into things so their game can translate at the men's level. But when they actually clock the pace and what's expected from them, then you see them level up just like that. But it would have been great if you got a goal today. But playing up front, kind of on the periphery, other than the great moment that secured the game for us, as he showed that he can play across different positions. Nico would have been proud. Tyreek George drops off the defenders. Your Gardens have no one to mark, and credit to Kid and Dewsbury Hall for making that run like in behinds when Tyreek dropped deep. Tyreek receives, plays a simple pass into the feet of Dewsbury Hall, and to be fair, credit to Dewsbury for having the composure and the footwork then to just, do a little rollover on his left foot, take another short touch inside to get away from his man, and then place that with like a Cole Palmer-esque finesse bottom left corner, hitting off the post. Probably the best thing he did in this game. I mean, he's been all right. He's been a solid professional, Dewsbury Hall. Got no real complaints. I guess maybe my only slight negative on Dewsbury in this game was that probably the best passing move of the entire game, right? Like those 2 quick passing interchanges that went straight into Djugarden's half. Tyreek, of course, superb touch into space first time. This is what I mean, seeing him express himself more. That was great to see. And then the pass back inside the box to find Dewsbury Hall. I'm sorry, Dewsbury, man, you should have been ready for that pass. You should have clocked straight away what the hell was going to go on. So your body shape was ready to hit that first time, because it would have been nice to have seen like a piece of play like that rewarded. But listen, I'm not angry. I'm not sticking it on no one. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, Tyreek really expressed himself offensively. And for the other youngsters as well, great to see Genesis Antwi, a Swedish player. I think the commentators were saying that, he was kind of born near Djurgardens. So, he had a bit of something to play for personally. But he just instantly looked confident, and I really respect that. He showed great physicality against Djurgården's left back, like brushing him off twice on 2 occasions. Nice little run when he kind of just like sweeps back inside to spin his man before playing the cross inside the box. He had like 50 minutes to impress himself, and playing in front of the Stamford Bridge fans, European semi-final, your first proper debut as a team as well. It's not easy things, because it's easy to be in your head, overthink, overworry. We've seen it. Like, as an example, remember Acheampong in his first maybe 2-3 games. Remember, some of you guys were like, is this guy kind of overrated? Because you just didn't realize that he just had to find his confidence a little bit. But since we've seen that, you're seeing a different player, right? So credit goes out to him. And mheuka, the kid's a talent. He's got technique. But I do think in the system sometimes, man, like if the team ain't firing, the strikers suffer no matter how much work you're putting in, runs you're making, whatever, you're just going to get isolated. And I guess probably one of the biggest negatives outside at the final 20 minutes of the game was just kind of how boring this game was at times, especially that first half. I thought the mids really put an emphasis in mid and midfields. You know, mid and midfields. Seeing 4 fullbacks in the team. I can see why a certain man would be like, oh, Nini. Like, obviously, the football we saw today isn't just the only thing we see. There's a lot more to come from us. But like, when we force the rotation for the sake of it, because we have to in the context of this game, obviously Newcastle's the big priority. You know, I mean, you have to see players playing in their second positions, third positions. I guess the quality of football can definitely get impacted by that, right? I thought the midfield was so safe, other than Reece James trying to find Gusto a few times over the top, but it wasn't even connecting that regularly, to be honest with you. You know, Kukurea, of course, he's thinking about Newcastle. We weren't really doing too much outside of just controlling the game, which we did for large parts, to be fair with you. It wasn't that entertaining, and I guess a lot of us with the hopes, you know, second leg, you bag 4-1 in the first leg. Can we make it, I don't know, 4-0, 5-0? Just have some fun. Like how it was at the start of the Europa League, where it was just pure bands. It was just pure fun. It was just pure entertainment. And it was, in my opinion, a nice little welcome retrieve from Prem duties, because you could just like have fun, see a lot of goals, and you're getting your popcorn's worth and your money's worth, right? But obviously we get the context of this game, and I'm glad that we have the academy to prioritize and talk about tonight, because obviously if they weren't playing today, I was really struggling to think about what to talk about. Yeah. Because it wasn't the most entertaining game. You know, credit to a few of these guys before I go. Jorgensen made some great saves. Is he going to get more opportunities next season, or does he replace Petrovic at Strasbourg? I wouldn't mind seeing that. But he was forced to make 2-3 top saves. Credit to him. Outside of that, in terms of the first team, Sancho, he has fun in this competition, getting past a few man here and there. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I guess the only things that anything's with though is that I feel for a lot of these guys who have predominantly played in the Conference League, because you know Maras is going to switch up this lineup. The switch up is going to spin and confuse a lot of these guys, because they ain't going to be playing in the final. Especially with Maresca saying how important it is for us to secure the Conference League. And I agree. This is like the European equivalent of the Carabao Cup, right? Just winning your first trophy as a team, no matter the significance of it, it just unlocks something mentally in teams. I even saw Newcastle get the improvement boost, XP boost from securing the Carabao Cup. It's a real thing that happens. So these not just winning something is going to set us up very nicely in the future, right? So that's it, my friends. We've booked ourselves a final spot in this year's Conference League. I'm going to quickly look at the Conference League semi-final, because I'm guessing we're playing against Real Betis. I should have looked at this before I actually recorded. Bear with me, you guys. But I think, again, Real Betis, like surely they defeated Fiorentina. Or is it like going into extra time or something? Let me just like quickly look. I know that Anthony scored a ridiculous goal. And yeah, that's it. Of course, we're playing Real Betis. It seems like it's an extra time. It seems there's more football left. So that's it. Real Betis, Chelsea. We're going to treat these guys like real beaters in the final, yeah. So love my guys. I'll catch you with some more videos tomorrow. Peace. Cool.